What is going on, everybody? Luke here. Today is Thursday's short video, about 5 minutes long if you didn't know, but let's keep it short and sweet now without me chatting too much. So what we're going to be talking about today is pallets online and how this can really, basically shipping pallets over the Q4 period and in preparation for Q4, which could be now, mid-September, will not only get the stock that you need there faster in preparation for Q4, because when Q4 comes, pallets can actually be held up a little longer. So to me, it's vital to be getting them in earlier and preparing, have like that kind of like residual stock of all of your good items there ready, even if it's not necessarily selling, because you want to be ready for when it does start to pick up. You have plenty of stock to supply the market. If a product goes 10x or 5 to 10x within 1 or 2 weeks, will you be able to make sure that you have a couple of hundred units of that consistently as that period starts to tick up for that Q4 demand? And you never really know when that is. So let's say you have 100 units, you obviously want to make sure and it sells 10 a day. Well, actually at some point it might start selling 100 a day and you'll have 1 day's worth of stock, or even less if you've already sold some. And then how long will it take you to get back into stock? At least a week, 5 days. So you've lost 500 potential units that you could have sold. And so it's all about preparing for that in advance as much as possible so that you literally miss no days. My best day was £21,000 last year. If I miss one day, if I miss a couple of 3 days like that, that's like 10 grand profit, or what would that be? No, it might be like 7.5 grand profit just for a couple of days. It's like, fuck that basically. I'm not losing 7.5 grand just to prepare for 3 days. And that could add up. You know, that can add up to a week if it takes a week to get, you know, where you've got no stock. It's vitally important to make sure you're not losing 10 grand or 5 grand just because you're a couple of days here and there not prepared properly, you know? Enough of that, let's get into this. So for me, pallets online or sending pallets in general is the best way to not only make savings by sending more pallets, you can make decent savings by sending more pallets, but also it just gets everything there faster rather than sending single UPS boxes. Now, I use pallets online. I've got different videos that I'll link in the description below related to pallets online, walkthroughs and how I use it. This is more to talk about it's vital over the Q4 period because you can make great savings by sending more pallets. Even one pallet is a better saving than sending UPS boxes. So I've just got 2 examples here. One's a single, so I'll start with the single. You can see here I've just literally created a 1 pallet here and a 3 pallet here as an example, okay? And just so you can see, you get a free collection tail lift as well. It'll give you the collection dates and all that. You don't need to worry about that, but let's just jump onto here. I did an example really roughly. Oh yeah, I'm not going to go and fill any of that in anyway, but I just selected a random. You can see it just says you got a 10% discount because I have a new discount code that you can only once use. So maybe it's worth saving until you send a couple of pallets, we get 10% discount, and that can only be used once. And I can use my own code, but I haven't yet, but I can. So be sure to, if you're going to use any pallets at all, I'm pretty sure it's unlimited. There's no time limit, so you could even keep it a month and use that. Send 5 pallets, get 10% off. So you can just see it updated there. And if I do this, well, you can see the saving. It's there anyway. But that obviously won't be forever, but we'll use the previous example. So I had a pre 9 a.m. saving. Interesting. So what I did a calculated the other day is that it's $3.64, is it, per box per UPS, excluding VAT. We're not including any VAT. This is also without VAT. And I sent 28 boxes on a pallet, so it's about just over 100 quid, £101. Well, you can see here how much I'll be sending. Well, I would have been sending, but now I'm sending by using a pallet. That is only a 1 pallet example. On a 3 pallet example, which is kind of like the average I'd send in. If you're sending, I'm using 28 boxes per pallet because that is what I kind of average. It goes a little bit more, a little bit less at times. So it's not really, there's no obviously perfect way to do it. It's just an average. It's 84 boxes. And if you were going to times that by 364, which is what it's like £305. You can see on the same example with a pallet, it would have been 195. Obviously at this right now it's 10% off, and you get a gauge. And yes, that doesn't take into consideration, if you have 3 boxes under a certain weight, there's great savings to be had. Even if you're sending 1 pallet, it's not the best of savings in the world, but it adds up. And definitely over Q4, it's worth potentially looking for more volume products, because then you can offset the cost of the saving on the pallets against the margin. So you can go, oh, the margin's a little bit less on those volume products, but actually I'm making 150 quid per 3 pallet saving. So you could then factor that in as your extra profit. And so for me, I think I sent 8 pallets last Q4 and the saving was like half. So instead of spending like 450 quid or I don't even know what it was, I saved like 250, 300 pounds for 1 batch of pallets. That's now extra money in my pocket, don't have to spend. Where obviously if it's UPS, it comes out of your balance on Amazon and you never see that again. And so for me, even if you don't use it the rest of the year, pallets are great for Q4 because you can just not only make a great saving, but if you can really ramp that up and find a way to send in a lot, you can save thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds that you would have paid out if you sent UPS boxes. Anyway, I'll leave the link in the description below for the link to the 10% off if you ever want it. I post it everywhere anyway. Anyway, see you on the next one, guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. See ya.